Top 10 Dragon Ball Z cards. Let's get into it. Coming in at number 10, we got a banger right off the bat. We got the one and only Gohan's Kick. An absolute staple in aggressive combat heavy decks. Despite not being a very powerful attack, it is just a base physical attack. However, its unconditional effect is what really pushes it over the edge. Preventing cards that end combat from being played, and cards that stop all physical attacks or all energy attacks, like Vegeta's physical stance, Nappa's physical resistance, all that trash. One Gohan's Kick, you no longer need to worry about any of that. I've switched my main personality to Gohan so I can continue to use 4 Gohan's Kicks in my decks just because it is that powerful. And if this is only number 10, you know this list about to be hyped, so let's just move on. Coming in at number 10, we have a classic here, the one and only Black 4 Fist Punch. I mean, just talk about a perfect Dragon Ball Z card. You got King Kai looking dank on the picture. You got a name like Black 4 Fist Punch throwing off an energy attack, a very powerful energy attack in fact, doing 6, only costing the standard 2, while also randomly lowering the foe's power stage by 3, or to 0, whichever happens first. Not to even mention it can be removed from your discard pile through Black Face Crush for even more value. This card is just insane value, very good card, one of the earliest cards to be released and one of the earliest on the list, but let's continue, shall we? Coming in at number 8, we have Orange Temple Strike. Now, Orange Temple Strike, this is a phenomenal card for aggro beatdown decks, doing an additional 2 life cards of damage with a physical attack, and most significantly, if it's successful and your opponent has any non-combat cards in play, you can force them to discard those non-combat cards until they have the same amount as you. So if you're a very aggressive deck and don't have any non-combat cards, this can, discard all their non-combat cards, with just one attack. And it doesn't get better than that. That's why this card is hyped so heavily in Pojo's very own Videl's the Rich Use the Poor beatdown deck. Yep, Orange Temple Strike, pretty easy selection. Coming in at number 7, I have Blue Style Mastery. And of course, talking about the version from the Trunks saga. The other blue masteries don't even have anything to do with lowering anger. They're all about stopping attacks and other random effects, but this one really encapsulates what it means to play blue. You're about lowering your opponent's anger. I think this is the perfect card to throw down against an opponent who just won their first game via highest personality victory. Show them how real it gets in these streets. That is why this card belongs here at number 7. Coming in at number 6, we have Master Roshi Sensei. This is just very good general advantage it grants you. It might not be noticeable in the early parts of the game, but it builds up in stacks pretty quickly and significantly. Over the course of a game, there's how many attacks thrown around. All of your opponent's attacks do one less life card, all of yours do an additional one, so when you really think about it, that does add up to a lot of incremental advantage. And it even has a decent number of Sensei deck cards you can throw in at 9. Master Roshi Sensei goes without saying, this is the best mastery in the game. Remember when I opened my very first Majin Buu starter deck and pulled Master Roshi Sensei as the rare? Then proceeded to trade it away for a handful of rares like it was nothing? Coming in at number 5, we have Saiyan Strike, the counterpart to the infamous Namekian Strike. Namekian Strike is a powerful tool that allows you to tutor up an energy attack, which leads to plenty of degenerate strategies and wins games on its own single-handedly. What does the Saiyan counterpart do? 5 flat power stages of damage. That's all we needed. Coming in at number 4, we have a battleground here. This is Arqua's Arena. I think undeniably the best battleground in the game. There are a few other contenders there, but most battlegrounds are build-arounds, and this is no exception. This requires you to have a named deck, but it does pay you off heavily in that every time you play a named attack, you gain 3 power stages. So if you have like a freestyle Krillin deck with a bunch of energy attacks, you can continuously play energy attacks, not having to worry about running out of power stages. And if you have allies, you can have them gain the power stages because it doesn't specify. So this card's kind of one of the first payoffs for named cards, and that's, I think, why it's undebatably the best battleground in the game. Hey, y'all remember when Panini took over the game and they made named cards only usable if they matched your main personality? Coming in at number 3, we have T-Rex Defense. Now, the defensive capabilities that this card grants you are so astronomical, it cannot be overstated. It doesn't even matter that the first energy attack kills it. The beast takes all damage from the first physical attack performed against you. All damage. The beast takes all the damage. Cranking out number 2, we have Massacre of the Billions and Millions of Bountiful Mini Itty Bitty Maliciously Baneful Majin Boos. Honorable mentions for this list, Battle pausing? And here we go, we made it to the end of the list, and I think it goes without exception. The number 1 Dragon Ball Z card is... Massacre of the Billions and Millions of Bountiful Massacre of the Billions and Millions of... Massacre of the Billions and Millions... And it even has a decent number of sideboard cards. And it even has a decent number of Sensei deck.